Hello students, good morning. This is Nageswaran, Department of English. I am so proud to stand before you as an English teacher. First of all, I would like to congratulate you for your being promoted to 11th standard. You were all doing very well in your 10th standard in the previous year. Whether it is our luck or bad luck, we couldn't face our 10th board exam. Anyway, you are proudly and happily entering your 11th standard. My best wishes to you all for your further studies. Do well, all the best. Let us move on to today's session. In this session, we are going to see a poem titled Confessions of a Born Spectator, written by Ogden Nash. It is a poem taken place in the Unit 2 of your 11th English. Before that, I would like to say something about the poet Ogden Nash. His full name is Frederick Ogden Nash. He was born on 19th in the month of August in the year 1902 and he passed away on the same date in the month of May in the year 1971. He belongs to America and he is famous for his light verse. Here we must know the meaning of the term verse. It means poetry, that is arranged in lines often with the regular rhythms and a pattern of rhymes. It has three divisions. The first one is blank verse. It means a writing which has a particular type of rhythm but no rhymes. The second one is free verse. It doesn't have any rhythm or any particular rhymes. The third one is light verse. It means a poetry on trivial or playful themes that is written to amuse or entertain that involves the use of wordplay. Come to this area. This Ogden Nash has selected the third type and he has written over 500 pieces of light verse. His country America declared him the country's best known producer of humorous, that is funny, and entertaining poetry, as he has written unconventional, that is not traditional rhyme schemes. His country also recognized him and released his postage stamp for his writing light verse. With this short introduction, let us switch over to the title of the poem, Confessions of a Born Spectator. Confessions means admitting oneself that he is guilty of a crime, or admitting that he has done a greatest mistake, or admitting his own inability to do something cleverly. And spectator means a person who is watching an event, especially a sports event. Through this title, we come to know that the poet's admitting that he was born as a spectator, not as a sportsman. By writing this poem, the poet says that he is able to watch any kind of sports or games. At the same time, he is not willing to participate in any sports or games as a sportsman or as a player, because he is a born spectator. That means he is naturally a spectator, not as a sportsman. I hope I have made you understand the meaning of the topic. See, not everybody loves to play sports, games and other extracurricular activities. Some of us wish to be mere spectators. I don't know whether you are a sportsman or a spectator. Anyway, we are not ashamed of ourselves and we don't have any guilty conscience about our positions. The poet Ogden Nash considers this part and he says that he is satisfied about his position, that he is a spectator and not as a sportsman. And he also believes that a spectator can also be as enthusiastic and happy as a sportsman. Come on, let us read this poem and enjoy ourselves. The first stanza begins like this. If you have a textbook, you can take that and look at your book. Otherwise, just look at the board. Let me read the poem. You can just follow me. One infant grows up and becomes a jockey. Another plays basketball or hockey. This one the prize ring hates to enter. This one becomes a tackle or center. I am just glad as glad can be that I am not them, that they are not me. In the first line, the poet says that one infant. Infant means a baby. A baby born somewhere else and grows up and becomes a jockey. Jockey means a horse rider. A baby somewhere else borns and wants to become a horse rider. In the second line, he says that another plays basketball or hockey. Another refers to another baby. Another baby wants to play basketball or hockey. It wishes to become a hockey player or a basketball player. Third line, this one the prize ring hates to enter. Again, this refers to another baby. Another baby born somewhere else and it hates to enter the prize ring. In order to understand this line, you have to bring the phrase hates to enter before the term the prize ring. The prize ring means an enclosed area in which boxing matches are fought. Now you can read the poem and understand the meaning. The baby born somewhere else and hates to enter the prize ring. It does not want to enter the enclosed area where boxing matches are fought. It means he hates boxing. In the fourth line, the poet Ogden Nash says that this one becomes a tackle or center. This refers to again another baby born somewhere else and it becomes a tackle or center. Tackle means approach. Both tackle and approach function as nouns. It means a player whose job is to stop his opponents by knocking them to the ground. Center, it also functions as a noun. It means a position or a player in the middle of a ground or field, like a football umpire. He says that a baby may be born near you or near me or any other places in the world and it will become a tackle, that is, it will become a fighter who cannot be defeated easily, or it may become a center, that is, it may become a greatest player and becomes the strongest positions in the middle of the ground, especially in the football match. In the fifth line, the poet says that I am just glad as glad can be. The term I refers to the poet Ogden Nash. He is just glad. That means he is happy as glad can be. It means he is very happy like the happiest man in the world. In the last line of this stanza, he says that I am not them, they are not me. Again the term I refers to the poet. Them refers to the players, sportsmen or any other athletes. He says that he is not them and they are not him. It means he is not like the sportsman and the sportsmen are not like the poet. Let us recall the first stanza. See, many babies are born in the world every seconds. Among them, one baby wants to play horse riding and thus become a horse rider. Another baby wants to play basketball or hockey. A baby from some other place does not want to enter the prize ring, that is, it hates the boxing. A baby from some other places wants to become a tackle or center, that is, he can become a fighter or he can become a center of the positions among players. Even though the poet is very happy like the happiest man in the world because he is not like the sportsman and the sportsmen are not like the poet. Let us move on to the second stanza. Let me read the second stanza. You can just follow me. With all my heart I do admire athletes who sweat for fun or hire, who take the field in gaudy pomp and maim each other as they romp. My limp and bashful spirit fades on other people's heroic deeds. In the first line, the poet says that with all my heart I do admire. Admire means appreciating somebody. The poet admires with all his heart. Whom does the poet admire? The poet admires the athletes. Look at the second line. Athletes who sweat for fun or hire. The athletes sweat for fun or hire. Fun means getting pleasure. Hire means getting money. You know, some players are playing so hard in order to get pleasure or in order to get money. Whatever it is, the poet wants to admire their talents. Look at the third line. Who take the field in gaudy pomp. Some players take the field in gaudy pomp. Gaudy pomp means showy and colorful dress. You know, some players wear colorful dresses and showy dresses in order to attract their audience and fans. And in the fourth line, and maim each other as they romp. Maim means injure. Romp means play in a rough and noisy way. Some people maim each other, that is, some people injure each other as they play so rough in their games. Whatever it is and however they play, the poet admires their talents. The athletes may sweat for fun or hire, that is, they play for pleasure or they play for money. Some people may wear colorful dresses in order to attract their fans, and some players may injure themselves as they play so rough. Whatever it is, the poet is ready to admire their talents. In the next line, he says that my limp and bashful spirit feeds on other people's heroic deeds. Limp means weak. Bashful means shy and reluctant, that is, hesitating. He says that his spirit has become limp and bashful, that is, his spirit has become weak and shy because he doesn't know how to play games, because he is a spectator only. At the same time, while watching other people's heroic deeds means actions and playing. He says that while watching other people playing so heroically, his shyness and weakness have become strengthened. Let us recall the second stanza. In this stanza, the poet with his heart admires the talents of athletes who work hard for pleasure and money. He also says that some players are wearing showy and colorful dresses in order to attract the audience and the fans, but they end up their games with injuries. Even though the poet is ready to admire their talents, the poet also admits that as he doesn't know how to play games, his spirit has become weak and shy. But while watching the heroic plays, the heroic and daring actions, his spirit has become strengthened. Now we are in the third stanza. Now A runs 90 yards to score. B knocks the champion to the floor. Cracking vertebrae and spines, lashes his steed across the line. You would think my ego it would please to swap positions with one of these. In this stanza, the poet says that now A runs, that is, an athlete runs 90 yards to score. He has to cross 90 yards to score, that is, to reach his goal. In the second line, he says that B knocks the champion to the floor. B refers to any boxer. This boxer knocks the champion. Knocks means hits. He hits the champion and makes him fall on the floor. Of course, he might not have become a winner ever before in his lifetime. With his luck or with his hard work, he is the champion. This boxer wins over him by cracking his vertebrae and spines. Cracking means breaking. Breaking his vertebrae. You know the meaning of the word vertebrae? It means any small bones that are connected to a spine, that is, in a spinal cord. He breaks his vertebrae and his spinal cord, thus he becomes the real champion. In the next line, the poet says that lashes his steed across the line. Lashes means beats with a whip. Steed means a strong, large horse. Here, the poet means that an athlete, especially a horse rider, lashes his steed. That is, a horse rider beats his large and strong horse with a whip to cross the line. Thus, he becomes the winner. In the last two lines, the poet says that you would think my ego, it would please to swap positions with one of these. You refers to we, that is the readers of this poem. You would think. Here, the apostrophe D should be read as would. There is also another apostrophe D that should be read as had. How can we differentiate that? It depends upon the following verb. See, if the following verb, here think, if the following verb is in the simple present, that is verb 1, the preceding auxiliary verb should be would. Otherwise, if the following verb is in the past perfect, that is in the verb 3, it should be read as had. Both would and had can be written as apostrophe D. It depends upon the following verb. If the following verb is in the simple present, the preceding verb is would. If the following verb is in the past perfect, the preceding auxiliary verb is had. But come to the point. You would think, that is, the poet says that the readers would think it would please my ego. Here you have to bring this phrase before the terms my ego. Now you can read this and get the meaning. You would think it would please my ego. It refers to the success of all these athletes. He says that the readers may think that all these success would please, that is, would stimulate his egoism, and it would give a chance to the poet to swap his positions. Swap means change. It would give a chance to the poet to change his positions with one of these. One of these refers to one of the players. Let us recall the third stanza. In this stanza, the poet observes that player A runs 90 yards to score. Player B knocks the another champion by breaking his spinal bones, and thus he becomes the champion. Another player beats his strong horse to cross the line, and he becomes a winner. While observing all these incidents, the readers may think that the success of all these athletes would please his ego, and thus the poet would think that he would swap his positions with one of these players. That is, he might think that he would become an athlete or a player. But the concluding idea, what the poet wants to say to us is, he does not wish to exchange his position with any of these players, because he is not a healthy man as a sportsman, and he is afraid of injuries while playing rough games. Moreover, he is satisfied that he is neither a sportsman nor an athlete. He wishes to be mere a spectator. Students, so far we have discussed the first three stanzas of this poem. There are yet three stanzas more to be completed. I hope this session will be very useful to you. Doubts and queries are always welcome. Feel free to text me and call me. So we shall wind up this session now. Let us meet in the next session, that we can continue the remaining stanzas and see what Ogden Nash says about himself and the sportsman. Until then, take care.